Welcome back to Kris Greenhill's Garage. I'm Kris Sr., and not with me today, or probably for this entire video, is Kris Jr. He's out of state somewhere. I think he's in Colorado on a church missionary trip this time. And yes, once again, it's okay to hate Jr. for being so well-traveled. He's getting to do all sorts of interesting things this summer that the rest of us don't usually get to do. If you couldn't tell, I come to you from inside Project Piece of Stang, Kris Jr.'s 1982 Ford Mustang GT. And I come to you from the inside of it for the first time in quite a while. The last time you saw this car, we took it and white trash to my buddy's birthday party. And he lives out in the country a ways. And we hit some pretty rough, washed out roads. And the road tried to take the exhaust system off both cars. It partially succeeded in this car. White trash's exhaust survived okay. This one did not. So we're going to try to fix that. And if that can be done in a reasonable amount of time, I might also take the exhaust off of white trash and weld it up fully and patch all the exhaust leaks on it. But I doubt that's going to happen. Neither car has been started in at least 4 weeks, if not 6 weeks. I came out to start white trash the other day. The battery's completely dead. Put a battery tender on it for a couple of days. It didn't do any good. I haven't tried to jump it or anything. I tried to jump pack. Didn't work. I think the battery's just completely cooked. Let's see if Piece of Stang will start up after 4 or 6 weeks or whatever it's been. Interesting. There we go. Just need to draw some fuel. It's been a while. And it stinks. Oh my God, I guess the gas sitting and everything. The exhaust absolutely stinks. But I'm going to turn it around and park it in the parking spot. Maybe you'll be able to hear the exhaust rattle. I don't know if that picked up on camera, but that's pretty bad. Here you can see part of the damage. Not sure how far up that goes, but the whole thing is rattling front to back. I know I broke at least one exhaust hanger off here. It's just completely gone from the car, so I'll have to fix that. Let's see if white trash will start up. I put the battery tender back on it. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll give it a try. That's going to be a no when quote-unquote fully charged is 11.5 volts. Nope, won't even turn over the battery. And we're down to 10 volts. The battery's just dead. This is super strange too, because everything in white trash is wired to key on, just like with Piece of Stang. And the keys have been off. And the thing is only holding charge for a couple of days. There's nothing wired in this car that can drain the battery without the key turned on. And yet the battery is dead constantly. I don't understand. We'll get some jump packs later for white trash. For now, back to Piece of Stang. This is already going so well. It's only 100 degrees and 90% humidity in Texas, and I can't find my big canopy. I found the empty container, the bag it comes in, which means somebody took it out and took it somewhere and used it and didn't return it. Clearly that means I didn't need it, right? Clearly someone knows better than me. I just need to sunbake and die of heat stroke. Yeah, that's fine. It's all fine. You can see all the mud from the off-roading we did. It's splattered everywhere. Pretty nasty under here. Broken tailpipe. Looks like I might have broken the muffler hanger also. Looks like it loosened it up at the Pro Chamber H-pipe as well. Good times. I kind of knew part of this was a problem when I installed these tailpipes. I missed the angle when I put the V-bands in. So when you push this tailpipe all the way up where it was hanging, it kind of puts the muffler in a bind with its muffler hanger. So that's a problem. So one of the things I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take the tailpipes off and kind of start over from scratch and modify them a little, because I noticed when I installed these, I was so hung up on getting the tailpipes to look exactly the way I want. that I didn't install them properly. They're putting everything else in a bind. So I'm going to loosen everything and let everything hang naturally, and then start over from scratch and recut and re-weld the adapters and the V-bands. Here's that garbage welding job I did where I obviously missed the angle. So I'm going to try to cut this off, and I've got a couple of spares sitting around, or if this will come off in one piece, which I doubt, I'll fix it up. The moment the tailpipe came off, this started hanging a lot more naturally. I had noticed after I put the tailpipes on last time, I had a lot of vibration through the car. That's because I was putting all this in a bind. I think I even jacked up the pro chamber, the H-pipe, to get the angle correct, which was not correct. So I'm probably just going to take all of this off and start the exhaust from scratch, because I've been getting some vibration through the transmission and just a lot of little things that irritate me. Well, hello there, little scorpion fella. Yeah, just keep on walking, homie. Nope, 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 nope. Hey, not this way. Oh, come on, man. I don't like to kill things for no reason. Go away. That's it. Keep on going. Good job. I'm in the habit of checking U-joints every time I get under a car, and should my drive shaft move separately from the rear end? Asking for a friend. Not even sure how that is possible, but guess I better tighten it back down. Every one of those bolts was loose, probably from the massive vibration this messed up rear end is putting out. There's a lot more lash than it had after we rebuilt it. Good times. Side note, we do have a new rear end for this car. It's just we haven't had the time to install it yet. We've been busy and stuff, you know, or one of us has been busy. The other one's been traveling the world. Lazy kid. I miss the sound of dumps in this car. Let's start it up and see what it sounds like. Oh yeah, that sounds really good. I like it. Jeez, that exhaust is bouncing a lot. Can y'all see that? That seems excessive. Oh God, it's so rich, my eyes are watering. Jesus. A lot of things are coming back to me now. I remember how hard it was to get the hangers for this Mac Pro chamber in the exhaust hanger. And it caused problems getting the collector to mount to the header. And I had to jack this up and bend it and do a bunch of stuff. And then the headers wouldn't seal, so I had to put a bunch of orange gasket seal around them. I'm thinking that's all related. These are pretty badly bent up when I got this. I think I'm going to remove this, bend them back, and I'm going to let the Pro Chamber H-pipe hang however it needs to naturally mount. And because this thing is stiff as a board, you can see it moves the transmission when you just barely touch the pipe. So I think that's binding itself all up, and that's why the exhaust is bouncing, and that's why I've got so much vibration. So I've already removed all the bolts. I broke the gasket seals at the header. These things are loose, and this thing is just bound up in here like crazy. It is wedged into this hanger up here. I'm probably gonna have to hammer it out of place, or out of here, just to get it out. So yeah, I definitely kind of screwed this up. I bound it up, it's way too tight. I need to undo that. This thing is so bound up in here, I can't even get it out with a 3-pound mini sledge. Oh man, I screwed this up really bad. I don't know how I got it in there. I noticed that I greased it up when I put it in. Clearly that was needed at the time. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this thing out. I even disconnected the centerpiece here and it still won't move. Oh my God. This thing put up one hell of a valiant fight. Well done, sir. But now I'm gonna fix you permanently. I've not hammered on this one yet. You can see the crazy angle. I had to bend this to get it to work, or, you know, work. So that's going to be part of our problem. So I don't know if I'm going to cut them off, but I'm at least going to hammer it down flat where they're out of the way. One thing I'm going to have to do is I'm either going to have to weld this thing in place or just cut it off and patch it, because this is obviously leaking like crazy. What the hell is all over this thing? Jeez, dude. Oh my God, how did that get so disgusting? I'm probably just gonna weld that shut. But that's a tomorrow Kris problem. I am absolutely baked and exhausted, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. Let's give this a shot on a jump pack. It says we have 16 volts. Come on, baby, come on. It doesn't have any fuel. Come on, baby. I think that's it for the jump pack too. Weak jump pack. The jump pack can't turn it over fast enough to draw any fuel. The carburetor is completely dry. There's nothing to pump shot or anything into it, so I don't think it's going to start. Yep. Zero fuel pressure. Carburetor's completely dry. Frustrating, and I don't have anything around here that's flammable. It's the next day. I do have my canopy now. Still not feeling this. Kind of slept in today. Just not really wanting to work on it, but my local O'Reilly shows a transmission seal, a rear seal for this T5 in stock. So I need to pull this out, take it down there so I can compare them. So I got to get the drive shaft out and yank that seal. Well, hello, Max Cat. How's it going, Maximus? What you doing, buddy? Yeah, you're kind of in my way. Drive shaft is off. You can see the red Loctite on these things, and yet they still backed out under vibration. That isn't good. How? What on earth? There's no forward to back plate, but it's a lot of lash. I was not able to just pull this drive shaft out from behind like I thought I would be able to. Let's come see what's going on up here. Shaft is not as grooved as I thought it would be. I thought that might be a problem. That feels normal. Oh yeah, the rear seal is just trash. It's completely brittle and falling apart in my hand. So I got to get that out. Wow, the camera did not like that last video. I just noticed how blacked out it was. But anyway, you can see our rear seal is just falling apart. You can see the drip right here. So let's try to get that apart. I finally got that seal out. I don't know if you can tell on camera. It is ripped and torn and dry rotted and just pouring fluid everywhere. So I got to go see if the part they have at O'Reilly's is going to be this or not. I can't remember if this is a world class or not. I seem to remember it being one. Need to pull those numbers right there and figure it out. I'm back with a new transmission seal. You can see it's a bit different, but this is what every website says will fit. Every kit came this way. I did measure the output holes. They're 1,000th off. This is 1.505. This is 1.505, 1.504. That could be caliper error or human error, but they appear to be the same. I am a little worried that this extra long boot, the drive shaft might be ramrodded into that, but we'll see. Installed. I really wanted this drive shaft balanced with all these weights welded on it. There's a dent in the back of it. I really wanted to get that done. I could not find anyone locally who will balance the drive shaft anymore. I was going to have to take it quite a distance. I will probably try to arrange that for when we do the rear end swap in a few weeks. Hello, cowboy. This is just the place to be today, huh, baby? For anyone unfamiliar with Cowboy the cat, she is actually a girl. The kids named her before they knew she was a girl, when she was acting very boyish. The drive shaft is reinstalled. Repacked the U-joints with grease, not that they really needed it. Oof. That thing does not have very much clearance. I don't like that. Now back to the actual point of all of this, trying to get this thing back in. Crap, I forgot to get oven cleaner, degreaser. This thing is coated. I forgot about this giant exhaust leak. Oh man, I don't know if... I don't even have a welding hood right now that works. I don't know if I want to try to weld that thing or what I want to do with it. Crap. Put a quick and dirty weld job on that, and then packed it in with gasket seal since I can't see what I'm doing with the welder, and I'm sure it's going to leak. It'll just have to be good enough for now. I've only tried to kind of mock this up, and I can already tell those exhaust hangers are in the way. I've got to go borrow a cutoff wheel and get rid of them. I cannot believe this. I burned 3 entire cutoff wheels just trying to get those 2 exhaust hangers off. And then I accidentally punched through this, so I've got to go weld this up before I can carry on. That took forever. I couldn't get anything to stick at first. Then I started blowing through. Took a bit of experimentation. This old pipe did not enjoy that. It's finally patched. Okay, I couldn't film any of it, but the Mac Pro Chamber H pipe is back on. The mufflers are back on. No hangers. I think I've got this thing positioned better than it's ever been positioned. I've got it within an inch of the drive shaft safety loop. The headers feel like they're sealed all the way around, and every connector feels like they're perfectly sealed all the way around. It's taken 3 or 4 times longer than I thought it would to get this just right, but it is done. Let's start it up. All right, sounds great. I don't feel any exhaust leaks anywhere. I'm gonna touch it while I still can. Let's go check the headers and make sure they're not leaking. I can't feel any exhaust leaks around the headers. I've checked them both. I think this is the best this H-pipe has ever sealed up. I'm happier than I've ever been with this one. Good deal. You know what? I genuinely think the transmission mount is broken. Maybe a motor mount. I'll have to look into that here soon. Yeah, I'm starting to really think that transmission mount is broken all the way through. That's going to be a problem for future Kris, though. I was going to put the car on the ground and test drive it today. That ain't going to happen. I think I am sunbaked. I've got welding burns. I hurt all over. I think I've got a mild heat stroke coming on. I'm just going to leave it up on jack stands, come back in a few days, mess those tailpipes. I'll drive it after that. It's the next week. Look who's joined us. If it isn't our world traveler, did you have fun in Europe and Colorado? Welcome back, the boy. We have modified our little tent thing here with a sunshade facing the sun. And we're going to try to get on those exhaust pipes today. It's time to try to get these tailpipes back on the car. I kind of have a plan of attack. I don't even think I'm going to bother cutting off this old V-band clamp. I think I'm going to measure this. If I have to cut it, I'll just cut the whole thing off instead of trying to grind this off. And then I'm going to figure out where to put the new V-band clamp based on where the tailpipe hangs. So with the tailpipe attached and the V-band connected, this is what we're dealing with. This is about 6 inches too low here. You can see the bottom of the muffler hanger, and this is what broke off, and this is without binding the exhaust. This is how the tailpipe's going to hang. So I definitely missed the angle on the V-band. What I'm thinking is, rather than cutting the V-band off, I might just pie cut this up top. I might just slice this, pry this up where I need it, and tack weld it back into place. I'm not sure how well that's going to work, but I'm going to try it. And the driver's side is even worse. Look at that. That's a foot. That would be dragging the ground, because you can't use the wheel as a reference because the wheel is hanging at full extension. The rear end is. So you jack up the wheel, that tailpipe hits the ground. So I've got to do some serious modification on these things. Wow, that one was putting it more in a bind than the passenger side was. So I marked this thing with a Sharpie where I need to cut it. I'm just going to pie cut the top and come back, line up where I want this to hang, and then tack weld it back into place and start reassembly. This was a lot thicker and more durable than I anticipated. My beautiful pie cut did not go the way I envisioned, but it is cut. If you had asked me if this was going to be difficult with a Sawzall, I'd have said no. The Sawzall is going to make mincemeat out of this in 5 seconds. That did not happen. This thing absolutely destroyed our Sawzall blade and has taken quite a while to make this pie cut and to collapse this piece of pipe. Let's see if it fits. We have the hanger reinstalled. It broke apart. We put it back together. I didn't actually have to buy a new hanger. We've got that pie cut, and we've got this up here. This is hanging perfectly. This is exactly where I want it. Everything about it is perfect. Now we just need to tack weld this thing into place in this shape so we can take it off and weld it here permanently. We have borrowed a welding hood. The boy is going to weld that gap closed. Have fun, son. After numerous issues trying to get the welder to feed, we think we finally got it fixed. We can finally get to welding this thing. Welding is hot, the boy. Now it's not feeding again. Great. Junior's done welding. We're reinstalling it. Hello, Tiger the cat. I mean, no, that's Tiger's sister. Hi, Cowboy the cat, who's a girl. That is beautiful and perfect. Good job welding the boy. All we have to do is all of that all over again. You look so excited. We've got the other one mocked up. We got it twisted and bent and kind of contorted and conformed to where we need it. I think it looks great. This side ended up needing twisting more than it needed the gap closed. It needed closed on this side, opened on that side, and twisted a little bit off center. But now it's time to go and weld that up, and the pipe should be great. All right, both pipes are installed. Time to get this thing on the ground and see what it sounds like. I sort of forgot to jack up the rear end earlier and make sure everything clears, but it does. Everything is where it's supposed to be and it looks great. Time to put it on the ground. Sounds great. Don't hear any exhaust leaks. All right, I'm happy with this. Go ahead and put it in first gear and let the clutch out. I just want to check the rear end for vibration or see what's out around. Oh yeah, it's definitely this side. I thought it was this side. You can see that is something in the axle shaft, the axle tube. Not great. This side is perfectly straight. Stupid sunshade. This side's nice and straight, the other side is not. All right, test drive time. Sounds great. Sounds better than it ever has. Let's go see how it handles on the road. I have not driven this in so long that it feels so weird compared to white trash. The clutch, the shifter, all of it. It doesn't feel like it wants to kill me. I used to think it did, but now it seems pretty normal compared to white trash. Obviously the rear end is still vibrating. The tire's bouncing up and down. But since I took the exhaust hangers off, the transmission isn't rattling anymore. The transmission was pulled so far off that I was just sitting around just vibrating and shaking and rattling. It feels perfectly normal again. I actually thought we broke something in the transmission. Now I'm pretty sure I was just pulled way out of alignment due to that exhaust. So this is much more pleasant. Transmission isn't even grinding in 5th gear anymore. It's not doing the handle shake and the constant grinding like it was. This is 100 times better. No transmission grinding. I've just noticed out running errands and even cutting off those exhaust hangers, just letting the exhaust hang naturally. We have more ground clearance than we did before, so that's a good thing. Such a majestic machine. We're out here running errands, smoother idle, no vibration through the transmission while we're parked. Much happier. I miss this car so much. It's so awesome. I cannot wait to get that rear end fixed, get sound deadener in here, get the interior back in it. This is going to be an amazing street car again. We are back. There's transmission fluid burning off the H-pipe, but there was a lot of transmission fluid on the H-pipe previously. I don't see anything leaking from the transmission seal itself, so that's a plus. So hopefully once all that stuff burns off there, that won't be a problem anymore. Future Kris here. Now I've had a few days to reflect on what happened and what went wrong. I think I understand it. When I installed this thing the first time, I didn't realize that the hangers for the exhaust and transmission cross member were crooked. I installed the hangers on the cross member first and then tried to adjust everything from there. When I hooked up the headers wouldn't line up. I couldn't get them to seal, and I used exhaust gasket seal to compensate for this. That also made the back of the exhaust hang down too far. So what I did is I used a jack and jacked up the middle of the Pro Chamber X pipe. And when I jacked that up, it pulled the headers in further off. When I continued to jack it up to try to get ground clearance for the exhaust, I believe I tilted the transmission up so far that I changed the relationship between the drive shaft and the transmission and the rear differential. I believe I changed the pinion angle, which is what led to all the vibration and all the problems. Now that we've been driving this for a few days, we're having none of those issues at all anymore, and the car is back to the way it used to be. Oh, and with that, I think we're done. This went really, really well. It's so much smoother and nicer to drive. I've kind of known for a while that the vibration in the transmission might be that exhaust binding up, and I was kind of too lazy to fix it. But this is so much better now. I am happy. I fixed something, the boy.
We fixed it.
You weren't even here for most of it.
Yeah, you didn't get anything fixed till I got back.
I really dislike you. Did I mention this is my car again? An ungrateful little turd. In all seriousness, I think that is going to be it. We are done for this week. The next thing I want to do is we're either going to swap or repair the rear end again. I think we're just going to go with an all-out swap this time and not mess with it. Kind of tired of fixing this stupid thing. You saw the vibration. It had the rear end wobble. I think we're just going to replace the entire thing and be done with it. We have a new rear end, and I think that's the next thing you'll see. I did plan on fixing White Trash's exhaust this week. That is not happening. I am baking. You tired? All right. And on that bombshell. Oh, by the way, best of luck to Jeremy Clarkson, healing up, getting better. Top Gear, Grand Tour. We love those shows. Jeremy Clarkson's an icon. God bless. Wish him the best. Hope he gets better. Thank you for joining us. God bless you. Join us next time. We appreciate it.